Hi there, Richard Fulmer here, and welcome to another Richard's Rock Rambles live albums. Today we're going to have a look at what probably for me one of the best blues rock guitarists around. He's been around since the late 60s, still touring today in fact. I'm talking about one Robin Trower. So Robin started out his career with the band Procol Harum. He did a few albums with them, but I think he was quite stifled within that band. He wanted to expand his sound, wanted to try new things, and within Procol Harum, it was a particular style that they had, and what he wanted to do just didn't gel with that style. So he moved on, left the band, and had a really successful solo career. Mostly power trio stuff in the beginning, got a bit more commercial later on, and as I say, he's still going today. So we're going to have a look at his live album, which came out in 1976. That was the year that it was released. It was recorded at the Stockholm Concert Hall in Sweden on the 3rd of February 1975. Quite a large audience, and great recording. It reached number 10 in the US Billboard Top 200. The band was actually not aware that it was being taped, so they were quite loose, and subsequently it sounded amazing. Sometimes when a band knows that they're being recorded, they get a bit stiff and they're a bit worried about if things sound okay, and they don't, expand the sound a bit on stage. They don't improvise. Everything's very sort of regimented. So because they didn't know, it was really good. So who do we have in the band? We had Robin Trower, obviously on guitar, playing his custom Fender Strat. I think he's played Strats pretty much his entire career. He's actually got a Robin Trower signature Fender Strat that you can get for a fair price. The late Jimmy Dewar on bass and vocals. For me, one of the unsung heroes of 70s vocals. I mean, this guy had an incredible voice. Also a really good bass player. Started out with a band called Stone the Crows. Did a few albums with them. And then Robin got hold of him for his power trio. And on drums, there was a guy by the name of Bill Lorden, who had taken over from Reg Isidore, who was the original drummer. Excuse me. So how did it do? Well, in the charts, it got to number 10 in the US, as I said, in the top 200, and number 15 in the UK, which is not too bad. So let's have a look at this. I had the original vinyl. I have no idea what happened to that. I must have sold it or stupidly given it away. But what I do have is the BGO Records label. They have these 2-on-1 collections. So what you have on here is you have the album For Earth Below, and there's the live one. Not the best picture in the world. I don't know how well you can see the crowd at the back there, but it was a pretty big crowd. So what are the tracks on here? Two Rolling Stones starts off the live track, which is a really cool sort of mid-tempo rocker with great guitar work, obviously from Robin. Daydream, which is a slightly slower track. Rock Me Baby, which has been done by many people. Great version on here with excellent vocals from James Dewar. Lady Love, slightly more up-tempo. I Can't Wait Much Longer. Alethea, and a little bit of Sympathy. So there's not many tracks. I mean, you're looking at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks. But in those 7 tracks, you get the full extent of how good Robin Trower is on the guitar. His tone. That's the thing about Robin Trower. You can pick his tone out from a whole bunch of other guitarists. He has a particular sound. He plays with such feeling. He's not a million-mile-an-hour kind of player, but when he really lets loose, it's amazing. Yeah, I've always loved Robin's stuff. So this was the album that came out just before the live one. And you can see that Alethea from that album is on here. Great album as well. The other ones to look out for are Bridge of Sighs. You can see the album behind me there in the door there. That's Bridge of Sighs by Robin Trower. Probably his biggest selling album. And for me, my top Robin Trower. The debut album, Twice Removed from Yesterday, that's also one to check out. And there's a few more in the 80s and in the 70s as well. Caravan to Midnight, I think, was another one. Yeah, and he was blessed, as I said, with James Dewar on bass and vocals. Guy could have sang for anybody, really. and sadly he passed away some time back. So if you're looking for a guitarist in the style of, say, Rory Gallagher, that kind of blues rock, and yet with his trademark sound, you can't go wrong with this album. When you're a power trio and you live, you have to have an X factor because you don't have a lot of other musos to back you up, and you can't rely on other people to carry you through. And this band, for the three of them, I think they really pulled it off. And 75, 76, they were kind of at their peak. And definitely one of my favorite live albums. I play this quite often. I remember when I was in a band many years ago, sort of a garage band, I always wanted to do a Robin Trower. Not as a guitarist, but as a singer, just to do some of Jimmy Dewar's great singing. So there we go, Robin Trower live, short and sweet for today. Next time around, we're going to have a look at another great live album, and we're going to go all the way to the States, and we're going to have a look at probably one of the best jam bands, southern rock bands ever. That'll be the Allman Brothers, that great live album, Live at the Fillmore. So I hope you guys will join me then. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe down below, and have yourselves a great week, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.